The number one question at a recent business forum here in Moscow is on the future trajectory of sanctions. Control Risks had been forecasting a certain amount of relief in the sanctions regime in connection with Ukraine by the summer of 2017. But activities in Syria mean that a new sanctions regime may be in the offing, which means that any existing sanctions probably won't be relieved until much later in 2017, perhaps towards the end of the year. Control Risks has long been forecasting that Hillary Clinton will win the United States presidential election. Here in Moscow, a Clinton presidency is looked at with a certain amount of trepidation. Mrs. Clinton is a known entity. She's a former senator and, of course, a former Secretary of State. She has a slightly more hawkish attitude towards Russia, though, than the current occupant of the White House, President Obama. Mrs. Clinton is also a fan of sanctions. And with options running short in a way to resist what's seen as Russian aggression in the Middle East, Mrs. Clinton may be seeking additional sanctions on Russia in connection with the bombing campaign on Aleppo. With parliamentary elections in the past, the business mood in Russia has begun to take a turn towards the optimistic. At a business forum this morning here in Moscow, most of the audience was saying that not only is the economy stabilized, but that consumer sentiment here in Russia has begun to move up from the bottom it reached a little bit earlier this year. The business community here is cautiously optimistic. Inflation has stabilized, the price of oil is creeping up a bit. Generally speaking, the only way here is up in the first place, but we feel generally that the business mood is more optimistic.